Hi, today we're going to be looking at the Google Home Hub. Looking on the outside of the box, we get the now common Google packaging of the understated white and grey. If we look around the box, it does tell you your normal Google spiel, that it can operate with Google Calendar, Google Maps, Nest, YouTube, Google Photos. If we look on the other side, it gives you a rough explanation as to the specifications of the Home Hub, and of course some spiel on the back. So let's open the box and we'll see what we've got inside. Okay, what we're presented with is the hub itself. And although Google do like to call this a hub, it's very little hub facilities, but the Google Home interface really doesn't roll off the tongue as well. If we remove the hub from the tray, and we put this to one side, we can have a look at what else is in the box. We can see that as per the norm with Google, all you get is a rather utilitarian level of accessories. You get a power plug, and that's what you get. If we have a look at the power plug, I believe it's something like 1 amp, so it just doesn't draw too much current. And as a break from the norm, they've actually supplied it with a barrel connector. Certainly a change, and some might feel that it is a strange move considering the norm of USB. I don't really see it as a problem though, because considering that they all plug into the wall, you know, it's not really going to be a deal breaker. But of course, some people might not like that. What else you got in the box? We've got a Let's Get Started guide. Tells you to plug it in, get the app, which is the Google Home app, and a quick what you can do with it. Nothing else on there. You've got your safety and warranty information, all very standard. What else have we got? Yeah, that's about it. Well, let's have a look at the hub itself though. As you can see, it comes from Google's own design team, so it's the same look as other products in the Google Home range. The retro bezel is being white and slightly reminiscent of older tablets. It does have the fabric base, which is quite consistent with other products in the Google Home range, and it does come in the same colour schemes as well, aqua, sand and chalk, and of course this version, which is charcoal. The screen is a 7-inch IPS affair with a slightly lower than 720p resolution at just 1024 by 600 and a pixel density of around 170 ppi, but it does have excellent viewing angles. It has no camera. This is going to upset quite a few people, but it does have an ambient light sensor. Google did this so you'd feel more comfortable using this device in, let's say, your bedroom, on your side table or nightstand. But the light sensor will not only change the brightness but also the colour temperature of the light. So if it can go from, let's say, a really cold white down to that low intensity warm white, so it's quite nice when it's late at night. You know, let's say it's on your bedside table, you've got the lights off, it does go onto the clock and the clock isn't glaring, lighting up the whole room. In standby though, it does act as a digital photo frame, displaying pictures from your Google Photos by either the date or the folder. Alternatively, you can select to show Google's own catalogue of photos. I'm sure if any of you's got any Google Chrome devices, you'll know what I mean by that. The light sensor again does come into its own with this function, and it does limit the light shown through, giving a more natural effect to your pictures rather than an overly bright image that you do get on a lot of photo frames. On the sound front, The Home Hub is a full range speaker operating around 80 decibels with a volume control rocker on the rear hand side. It does come in at roughly 1 kHz and it is a 2 mic array, each sitting either side of the light sensor. How does it sound? Well, it's most definitely a step up from the Home Mini, but it doesn't quite reach the lows of the full-blown Google Home, missing slightly the bassiest sound that its bigger sibling and of course the Google Home Max has to offer. So I would see this as an addition rather than your main form of entertainment. Connectivity, it's got Bluetooth 5 and Wi-Fi B, G and AC under both the 2.4 and the 5 GHz bands. Next, we'll plug it in and we'll see how Google has implemented its software under the GUI on the hub. Software-wise, it has everything you've come to expect from Google's stable of products of late. With support for Google Calendar, Google Maps and of course YouTube and Spotify, I feel Google are really trying to push their ecosystem into the smart home community, with more and more products being natively compatible, and of course Google doesn't fall short here either, with it trying to incorporate as many of the latest products and manufacturers. Myself being a prolific SmartThings user, it only has to tie in with that in order to have a full range of devices available to it. If we swipe down and have a look at how Google presents your smart home, we can see what we mean. As you can see here, it says that I've got 10 lights on. I can choose whether I want to look at the lights or the media or broadcast. At the moment, it's pointing out that I'm in my living room and my living room lights are on. If I go and have a look at which lights are on, as you can see, it is pointing out that I have lights on at the present moment in the back bedroom or in the back garden. If I say to view rooms, and I can go and choose the living room, I can either choose the brightness for the whole room, I can choose the colour for the whole room, or I can look at each individual light. Now as you can see, it does list the lights that are on and that are off. I do have, as you saw in one of my previous videos, a desk LED. So you can see I can increase or decrease the brightness. If I go to colour, I can choose it. At the moment it's on red, but let's change that to a nice blue or ultramarine. So you have got quite a lot of control. If you want to cast to this device, it's quite easy. It does include a Chromecast, so all you have to really do is just, when you go to cast something, say cast to this particular device, whatever you want to call it. Clearly you can't cast from this device, but it is on your list of things that you can cast to. So as you can see, I've got a couple of different devices, from Google Home Minis to Chromecasts to speakers, shields, or main Google Homes. So we've got a wide variety of devices that it can work with. As part of the main UI on this, you can go and you can select what kind of stories. You've got Spotify there, you've got YouTube. Because it already knows it's the evening, it asks you if you want to do anything or if you want to make an appointment. If we just open up something as an example, we may get quite a few other Googles coming to life when I say this, but we'll try it anyway. Play me a YouTube video.
Alright, playing recommended YouTube videos.
Play next video.
Of course, if you're expecting a 4K video, you're going to be a little bit disappointed. As I said earlier on, this is really only a sort of a not even a 720p. It's a 1080 by 600, I think I said it was. So it's okay. It's not a bad little device. What else does it do? It offers you all the normal kind of Google Home kind of things if you want to do searches or make appointments or show pictures from your Google Photos. But of course I've seen a lot of questions that are asked about around the internet saying about the lack of a camera. And also that, of course, that cheap tablets can do so much more, and this is really just adding a very bad tablet to a Google Home Mini. But you got to kind of ask yourself at what price point you want to sit. If you want a fully fledged device with excellent audio, then you're going to go for something like a 10-inch Lenovo or the JBL, and that might be a better choice. But of course, those functions do come at an extra cost. If you want something that's going to sit in your bedroom, then this is not a bad device to go with. Sure, compromises have been made with the lack of those features, and no, you can't do video calls with the likes of Google Duo. But you can, of course, you can make them, but they can't see you, but you can see them. But you know, you've got to see this as a gateway device, a step up from the Google Mini. Each device will have its compromises. Is it as feature rich as the more expensive alternatives? No. I would liken it more to a Google Mini with a screen and a better speaker. And if that's what you're looking for, then it ticks all the boxes. If you're looking for a fully fleshed out tablet for your bedroom or kitchen, then you're going to have to consider your options. Would I choose this over a similarly priced like Lenovo 8-inch offering? Well, that's of course a loaded question. For the bedroom, I'd say choose the Google Home Hub. Its lack of camera in favour of a light sensor, its smaller footprint and general compact nature makes it for a great option. However, over this Christmas period, Lenovo has drastically dropped its prices for the 8-inch version of their Home Hub, and it's now priced competitively at roughly the same price as Google's. So if you want something for the kitchen with a bit more rounded sound, with all the features, and of course you do require a Google Duo, then you might want to consider the 10-inch Lenovo at £199. Now, do I think that any of these?
I don't know how to help with that.
Now, do I think that any of these devices would replace a phone or a tablet? Well, no. Each have their own place and their use. Many of you don't want to take a phone to bed with you, and sometimes, you know, you just want to stream a little bit of music or control your lights when settling down for the night. And if that's what you want, then in this case, then the Google Home Hub is the perfect choice. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.